Hey guys, this is Don Monistere. I'm the CEO and president of General Informatics, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the AI universe and specifically what General Informatics is offering with our artificial intelligence as a service platform. One of the things that we can all agree on is that artificial intelligence has really been a spotlight as of late, but there's so many different components of artificial intelligence. Obviously, we all are well aware of the various large language models that exist out there. But guys, we've been dealing with artificial intelligence for quite some time. If you do any shopping on Amazon, they seem to just know exactly what you want to buy, and they've known that for some time. Things like artificial intelligence as well as machine learning and the advent of neural networks happened many, many years ago. In fact, my background goes back to the creation of neural networks in a lot of video, so and a lot of images as well. So as we continue to see artificial intelligence to proliferate in our business, we're seeing a lot more focus on what is now being called agentic AI, basically artificial intelligence that does things for us. And we're going to talk and show a little bit about that as well today. And of course, deep learning as well. So we can definitely say that over the last couple of years, the pace in which we've seen things change in artificial intelligence has been pretty quick. If we talk about our particular platform, our AI as a service, we really are providing you guys with the ability to really change the way that you do business. We do have our generative AI, which is an interactive chatbot that we can train with very specific corporate data that you have, and that data is not on being trained by other models, meaning you're not uploading information into a chat GPT like environment where they may be using that information to help train the model. This is going to be in a securely protected vector database that houses your information and there's no way to get to it other than through a username and password and 2FA. So we also have our local AI, which basically is, imagine if you will, a chat GPT like experience, if you will, but specific with your corporate data. And then we have something called GI GPTs, which are basically very agentic like, where we've created these various applications that you can get some very specific information out of. So I will definitely go through some of those things and I'll show you guys a little bit of that today. When we talk about the chatbots specifically, what we've been able to do is create these chatbots and then embed them in various applications, whether you use SharePoint or some other intranet type application, or if you just use a web application, we can definitely embed in a web application as well. But we use SharePoint here and we use it quite a bit for collaboration. You can see that our corporate plan is listed here as well. But if you scroll down, you can see that we have our own chatbot that is embedded in here. And we can go in and ask various questions about various things about GI. The use case that we came up with was about 2.5 years ago, and we used our organization as kind of the training ground for AI, if you will. We were the alpha test before we got to beta, and so what we said was, hey, let's go make a persona. Her name is Megan. In fact, she has a complete history. Her name is Megan Landry. She's Cajun French, and we'll show that in just a second. But she's trained on all of our human resources information, policies and procedures. So anything that you have, any question that you might have about general informatics, you can find out from Megan. You can see that I had it embedded here, but if I wanted to go full screen, I can click on go full screen and get a much larger screen here. But you can see, for instance, it says, like, if I were to ask at General Informatics, what are the policies for paid time off? I can do that by just clicking on that item. That's really one that's already been pre-programmed. And you'll see that Megan will think about it and then give very specific information about general informatics and what the paid time off is. And one of the things that you can do here, and we tell our internal staff, if it's the right response, if it's a good response, if you're not sure, don't say anything. But if it's a good response, we give it a thumbs up, and it continues to train that model so that it knows that that's the right response. One of the things I like to show is that you can see down at the bottom when she is leaving the conversation, she says, "Merci, bon ami." And I like to ask her, hey, Megan, you sound Cajun. Where are you from? And you'll see we've given her a little bit of a persona that a lot of folks have enjoyed having conversations with her. She says right there she's originally from Breaux Bridge, the crawfish capital of the world, but moved to Thibodeau. So we have a little bit of fun with this as well. One of the other things that I mentioned to you was basically creating a chat GPT like experience. And you can see right here, this is really a mimic, if you will, of ChatGPT. I can ask it various questions as a large language model, but it also has very specific general informatics information in there as well. And you can see that I've registered a CNAME genif.ai. So you can have your own platform that is trained on your own information, and that way you can allow people to use a chat GPT like experience without the concern of, hey, is my corporate data being ingested and being used as a training mechanism. The last thing that I'll show you is the GPTs that I talked about. We have a number of them here on the left-hand side. I'll just show you one, for instance. This is our product knowledge application, if you will, and it's specific. And the reason why we call this agentic AI is because this really becomes an agent to help you do something. And if you're a sales rep here at General Informatics, sometimes you have to go do a sales pitch. And so what I would do to help give it some context is I would go look up, like, for instance, marketing collateral that we might have on a particular service. So let's say, for instance, I want to upload this vCISO.pdf. It's a service that we have as our virtual CISO, and I needed to get some information. Now, this is trained completely on all of our services and products. So if I didn't upload anything, it would still have information about it. But uploading a PDF on our marketing collateral, it definitely gives it some context. And it asks right here, what product do you need information on? So I'll just say vCISO. And it asks me, do you need specific knowledge about the product, or are you trying to find the best way to pitch it? I'm going to say I'm establishing a pitch. So let's say I'm a sales rep and I'm about to go talk to somebody about vCISO. Well, here's another input, which is really great. It's if this is for pitch purposes, what industry is the company you are selling to? So this gives us an opportunity. So I'm going to say healthcare. It gives us an opportunity to get very specific about who we're talking to and what maybe might change the pitch. Like, what is the focus for that particular industry? I'm going to hit submit here, and you will see in just a second, it's going to think about that. It's going to go look at all of our services, and it's going to think about the industry that we talked about. And it's going to basically say, the vCISO Virtual Chief Information Security Officer service by General Informatics offers a significant advantage for healthcare organizations. And you can see key pitch points for healthcare specifically. So emphasize the cost efficiency of having a dedicated CISO without the overhead of a full-time hire. So you can see that it goes through, it gives you a tailored approach, and then it gives you a call to action. Encourage the prospect to schedule a consultation to discuss their current security challenges. So you can see that there's definitely a very specific way that we can train these models to answer very specific questions. We're fantastic at creating acronyms in the IT world. So if I wanted to ask, what is PCPIP? So I did that on purpose. I said PCPIP as opposed to TCPIP, and it caught it. It made sure that I was going to the right information. So you can imagine, guys, we don't have just engineers and technical folks here. We have folks in accounting, we have folks in marketing, and a lot of times they don't know what the acronyms are. And so maybe they think they heard something a certain way, and they can go in and plug this in and get that information very quickly. So you can see how this can be very helpful for your organization, and we would love to have a conversation with you about how we can put this to use in your organization as well. Guys, thanks again. It's Don Monistere. I'm the CEO and president of General Informatics, and I look forward to talking to you guys in the future.